It was a time of upheaval, instability, change. On campuses and in the streets, the status quo was being overturned. Young people sought meaning. Women sought recognition and fulfillment. Into this fray stepped the Rebbe, using his 70th birthday as an opportunity to urge his Hasidim to create 71 new institutions around the world that would respond to the world's thirst for truth and identity.
As a young mother, I was teaching a Sunday morning class to early Baalei Teshuva that came to Crown Heights. There were nowhere else for these newcomers to learn. In response to the Rebbe's call for 70 new institutions, I asked the Rebbe about starting a school for Jewish women with limited knowledge. The Rebbe's revolutionary response was, the responsibility, perhaps also importance, is greater than for a similar school for men.
Not only did the Rebbe encourage this new venture, but he demonstrated its significance by naming the school after his mother, Rebbizten Chana, who had passed away 8 years earlier. Machon Chana was the first institution in Crown Heights to carry the Rebbe's mother's name. It became America's first full-time women's yeshiva for Baalei Teshuva, and the first worldwide to teach Chassidus. Machon Chana is built upon the legacy of its namesake. Rebbizten Chana, together with her holy husband, Rabbi Levi Yitzchak, spent a lifetime bringing Jews in the Soviet Union closer to Yiddishkeit. They risked their lives supporting this Baalei Teshuva with clandestine brisim, weddings, and all aspects of Jewish life. Machon Chana has devoted itself these past 50 years to welcoming and caring for the thousands of Baalei Teshuva who have walked through its doors. After my service in the IDF and attending university, I traveled to India with my father. After encountering Chabad in Sri Lanka, I became fully observant. The Shlucha invited me to join her for the Kines HaShluchas in New York, and then I stayed to study at Machon Chana. I felt so welcomed and cared for, physically and spiritually. It ignited in me a joy and passion for Yiddishkeit and a feeling of inner peace. It means so much to me to connect through mitzvahs to my great-grandparents who were Holocaust survivors. Machon Chana has given me a feeling of fulfillment.
I was born in Iran and then we moved to Israel. I came to New York to study at Machon Chana. The dorm was a very safe and nurturing environment. We felt cherished by the Rebbe. He even said, whoever suspects me of being biased toward Machon Chana is right. When I was ready for marriage, Machon Chana helped with the shidduchim, with the wedding, and with the setting up our household. The people of Machon Chana are my family.
Rebbizten Chana herself was learned and favored a solid Judaic education for women.
As a past and current student, Machon Chana has been an important part of my life. Machon Chana provides the best Chabad teachers to educate us, from the basics of Judaism to deep advanced studies. The Chassidus we learn gives us a deep connection and appreciation for Torah learning and practice. We gain skills to pursue lifelong learning and to pass along chinuch to the next generation.
The Rebbe wanted Machon Chana students whom he called meine Techter, my daughters, to carry on his mother's signature traits: refinement coupled with sophistication, dignity, and chesed. In this spirit, the Rebbe involved himself in every detail of Machon Chana, from the academics to the door.
It was incredible how the Rebbe, the leader of world Jewry, cared for us materially as well as spiritually. He cared that everything in Machon Chana was befitting royalty and the spirit of his mother's legacy. For example, he took the time to visit the dorm and asked those in charge to provide mirrors, radios, and even a nicer chandelier. Machon Chana guided me to build my own home upon the foundation of Torah and the Rebbe's teachings. The lessons I learned from Mrs. Gosberg, the dorm mother, and Mrs. Galperin, the cook and mentor, continue to guide me to this day.
Machon Chana literally changed the course of my life. I was able to raise my sons in the ways of Torah and Chassidus, and Machon Chana gave me the tools to become a fully observant Jewish woman. I try to carry that gift forward and serve my community with kindness, goodness, humor, and optimism. It absolutely all began at Machon Chana.
As Machon Chana students, we were encouraged to emulate the sterling qualities of Rebbizten Chana. One Pesach, when the Rebbe was on his way to visit Machon Chana, which he called his home, Rabbi J.J. Hecht asked the Rebbe when the Rebbizten's presence dwells in Machon Chana. The Rebbe responded, that since the Machon Chana girls are following in the Rebbizten's footsteps, she is always there.
Machon Chana alumni are fulfilling Rebbizten Chana's vision as leaders in communities across the globe. They are educators, shluchos, businesswomen, wives, mothers, grandmothers, and great-grandmothers, scientists, artists, writers, performers, women who inspire those around them with their intelligence, devotion, dignity, and care. Let's meet some of these outstanding women. Menucha Lapner's greatest joy is raising her large family to Torah, Chuppah, and Maasim Tovim. Menucha currently serves as assistant principal at Beis Chaya Mishka Elementary in Toronto. She says, Machon Chana taught me it's a mitzvah to be b'simcha. To this day, I infuse simcha in all that I do. Rivka Lipinski hails from Cordoba, Argentina. 38 years ago, the shluchim in Buenos Aires guided her to study in Machon Chana, a profound experience that represented the beginning of her relationship with Yiddishkeit. Living in the Rebbe Shechina and studying with amazing teachers and mashpiyim prompted Rivka to return to Argentina and go on shluchos with her husband, Rabbi Svi. As a young married working woman, Sasha attended Machon Chana on Sundays to gain more confidence to lead a frum life. Certified in school administration and special ed, she worked for many years in the Satmar community in Monroe, New York, where she was highly regarded. She is now helping launch a new special ed school in Florida. Sasha enjoys visiting her grandchildren around the world. Nicole Kornhauser often reflects back on her time at Machon Chana for guidance in her work as coordinator of a women's seminary she launched in Melbourne. She emulates the Machon Chana teachers who didn't regard the students only through the lens of academics, but also took time to nurture their spiritual and emotional development. She is proud to have children on shluchos around the world. Miriam Rhodes came to Machon Chana after exploring spirituality in India. Being at the dorm Seder when the Rebbe visited convinced Miriam to stay. She taught physics at Beis Rivka for 18 years. In the 1980s, Miriam and her husband Meir served as the Rebbe's undergrad shluchim to communist Russia. They now live in Bat Ayin, Israel, where their hospitality is legendary. Miriam is a sought-after teacher of Chassidus. Machon Chana gave Sarah the foundation to build a Jewish home based on Chassidus and prepared her for life and shluchos. Sarah and her husband Rabbi Shmuel opened a Chabad house that now serves 7 campuses around Pittsburgh. Sarah attributes their success to the role models she met at Machon Chana, including Mrs. Lapkovsky, Rabbi Majeski, and many others. Shoshana came to New York from France to see the Rebbe, and she just couldn't leave. She said, "What I gained from my precious time at Machon Chana is forever engraved in my heart and soul. It made me who I am today, a shlucha of the Rebbe, a proud Jewish woman, a mother and a grandmother." Shoshana and her husband Rabbi Herschel served the spiritual needs of the Los Angeles Persian community. Hinda Langa came to Crown Heights with a 1-year-old son and attended classes even before Machon Chana became official. She was thrilled to be in a school named for the Rebbe's mother, and she loved the proximity to the Rebbe. In 1975, Hinda and her husband Yosef started Chabad of Berkeley, which they ran for 10 years, influencing thousands. She then launched a preschool to start Jewish education at an early age. Bracha, originally from South Africa, went from being a student in Machon Chana to teaching Chumash and Tefillah there. She internalized the concept that we are all the Rebbe Shluchim. Over the past 30 years, Bracha has taught Torah to women of all backgrounds. She and her husband Ilya host big events for Purim, Lag BaOmer, and other occasions. Bracha founded Tiferet movement, incorporating Hasidic teachings into movement, breathwork, and meditation. Rivka Greenberg was born in Ukraine, moved to Germany with her family, and attended school in Oxford, England. She was close to shluchim in all these locations. She eventually came to Machon Chana, a life-changing experience. Rivka and her husband are campus shluchim. She is grateful to see many alumni leading from lives. She has even seen parents of students begin to keep kosher thanks to the influence of their children who attend the Chabad house. Timmy cites Machon Chana as having made a huge impact on her life. As manager of the Chaya Mishka Mikveh for 30 years, has become her shlichus. She gives talks about her Jewish journey and conducts mikveh tours. She also served as a prison chaplain for 26 years. Now she helps her son and family on shlichus in North Queensland. Chaya Rochel was privileged to be among the first group to live in the President Street dorm. She has made a deep impact on the Chicago community, where she and her husband live and raised a large family. Among many accomplishments, Chaya Rochel co-founded the Chicago Cheder and Lubavitch Girls High School. Chaya Rochel recently published 2 novels dealing with the sensitive issues of mental illness and the Jewish immigrant journey. The vision of Rebbizten Chana shines forth from Machon Chana alumni, each one finding her own unique path to heal and transform the world, and to fulfill the Rebbe's mission of revealing Mashiach now.